We have been covering bank failures, and in yesterday's video we covered a little bit on UBS, but now UBS is freezing some withdrawals due to, in quotes, liquidity challenges. Yet the UBS CEO today said that UBS is one of the world's safest, largest institutions, which is exactly not only what Lehman Brothers said, what Credit Suisse said, but multiple banks said before they went under. So the question is, what bank is going under? Is it UBS? What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a ton of stuff to cover with banks, AMC, we're going to touch on the charts, then some data, as well as the overall market, crypto, the Tesla trade, and then some additional stuff to close out the video. So watch until the end of the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let's get into it. Every time JPY moved like this, a bank was blowing up. One Square, Silicon Valley Bank, then Credit Suisse, and FRC. Now, which bank is it? See the chart right here. This was a bank failure, and here we are now, potentially coming around the corner, another bank dumping off. And the question lies, is it going to be UBS, one of the largest and safest financial institutions? A couple things to touch on with AMC. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour concert film is rumored to be released in China in December. However, there is no further tweet from Adam Aaron about this. He just tweeted today, incredible attention for Beyonce's new creation, including a surprise on Thanksgiving Day. For Beyonce fans, the final movie edit is a wonder. Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, is simply stunning. Opens Friday, December 1st, early access screenings on Thursday, November 30th. Though he hasn't addressed the low in the stock, he hasn't addressed anything we wanted him to address, and he's still talking about Beyonce. Whoa, don't touch it. GameStop is like a hot potato. Don't expect regulators to ban naked short selling and miraculously rescue GameStop stock. According to Investor Place on November 10th, they basically say that the SEC is allowing short selling, naked short selling, right? And they're not going to ban it anytime soon. And they are giving financial advice, as for the title, to not touch GameStop stock. When lawsuit? You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think about these news articles, and are you buying more GameStop? Which we are going to talk about GameStop in 1 minute. But first, let's touch on AMC's chart, trading at $6.90, down 1.29% on the day. Kind of getting this chop trade, getting this little bounce, coming up, fighting resistance at $7.05, which is the previous low of the stock. Basically, what we have drawn out has been playing out for AMC and will continue to play out for AMC. So if you want to make money on this and if you want to play it smart, here's what I'm doing. Holding my shares, not playing puts, waiting for the low that I think is going to come in, which is going to be around late December, coming around to $4 even, and then loading up more shares and or calls. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my plan going forward. AMC had a slight relief bounce coming off of the Bollinger Bands, right after touching the Bollinger Bands multiple times, and now it is just riding the wave lower and lower. Citigroup's price target, remember, $4.75, the same entity that is actually working with Adam Aaron to keep AMC afloat, which is very odd. There's just a ton of loopholes here that just don't make sense. As for the Ortex numbers on AMC, the short interest did rise slightly from last time we talked about it. Last time it was 9.06%, and now it's sitting at 9.14%. So the short interest is still kind of stagnant, and I wouldn't pay attention to the data too much because we know the float is sold time and time again. According to Stonko Tracker, there's 4 million shares available to borrow against AMC, and the options chain isn't really showing up right? You see zero calls, 3 puts, and then the next week, 0 zeros, all along the chart. I don't know what's happening with Stonko Tracker. I don't know what's happening with their data. As for short exempt volume, the past couple of days, still pretty high, above 250,000 for both days. GameStop trading at $12.41, basically up 1% on the day, got a bounce off of this trend line, and there's not much to say here, right? It's just waiting to sell lower. It's waiting to break below this trend line, which it's gonna do, come down and hit $10.10, and that is when the puts are going to play out. No, I'm not a shill. I'm going to buy more GameStop with the money I make on those puts. And then potentially, after this target is hit, we're going to reevaluate and say, okay, what's AMC doing? What's the SPY doing? What's XRP doing? What is crypto doing? How is this going to affect GameStop? And then we're going to say, okay, that is probably the low, and it's not going to come down to 375, or everything looks bad, everything looks bearish, and it's gonna come down to 375. We will reevaluate when we get there. But as of right now, everything's still staying the same. The option chain is looking pretty wonky on GameStop as well. 100,000 shares available to borrow on it. And coming down to the option chain, take a look at all of these single digit numbers and some up here as well for December. I don't know. Pretty odd. Short exempt volume dropped to basically nothing for yesterday, and we still had a red day on GameStop, which is not something you want to see. Now, before we touch on the S&P 500, the last 4 times the 10-year minus the 3-month Treasury yield curve inverted, it led to the 1990s recession, the dot-com bust, the global financial crisis, and the 2020 recession. Is this time different? Do you guys think this time is different? And for a further read, like the top comment says, anything is possible, but it seems unlikely to be different this time. Also, we are now at month 21 of Fed's current rate hike cycle. By the time we get to month 24, we often see the stock market roll over and the Fed try to cut rates quickly or both. However, just like the vote is always split, nope, it's different. It's just a different lead up. One side is trust me, bro, and one side is historical evidence. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the S&P 500. I'm going to let you know mine. Right now, I think the SPY is looking strong up here, surprisingly. It is on this macro trend level, and it is getting hammer candles, which may indicate a reversal to the downside. But if you take a look at the Bollinger Bands, it is just building more and more and more room so that it can scale higher, right? It's coming up for this double top, and I think maybe it might slowly stair step there with very, very little volume, right? The volume fading, touching 460, and then smash to the downside. However, as of right now, it's building extra room by stagnating, right? It's accumulating. It's an accumulation phase. I would like to see it scale a little bit off of this trend line, you know, to create some wiggle room for a pullback and base on this trend line. But as of right now, if it doesn't do that, I'm just waiting for a nasty pullback on the S&P 500. I'd watch for 453.50. Then breaking below this trend line, coming down to about 449 and 446, 442.85, and then all the way to this original retracement zone that we had drawn out, right? The second retracement zone that we have drawn out, a retracement all the way down to there, okay? Anything is possible. Just want you to know that we are sitting on the top of this macro trend line still. And at least we are going to be starting a fresh week with where is the SPY going to go. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole going into Monday, showing that it could go either direction. And I think a catalyst is going to push it one way or the other. One thing I think is showing strength for the S&P 500 is Bitcoin. But before we get into that, guys, the Discord is still 15% off because today's another holiday. It's Black Friday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. If you want to get in the Discord and you've been thinking about it, it's 15% off. The link is right under the video. I'm in there on the daily so you can talk with me and the most amazing people stocks all day long. There are no bad questions. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place to go. Get in the Discord, up your trading journey. We post gains, post losses, talk stocks all day long, and it's just the best place to be. And if you guys want up to 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2 grand per stock, so a chance at $30,000, realistically maybe a couple hundred, and earning 5.1% APY on your uninvested cash, use my link, sign up for Moomoo, and make a deposit of any amount to start earning benefits from there. That will make you a qualified user for these bonuses, so make sure to go do that. The link is in the top of the description and pinned in the top comments with the Discord link. It takes 2 minutes out of your day, and you're getting a ton of other benefits on the side, like level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, a customizable earnings calendar, and more. Now, Bitcoin has finally broken 38,000. Getting that next push higher, we want to see more volume kick in. This is usually a good sign for the equities market. Once you see crypto start to run, if crypto gets another leg up, I expect the SPY to start getting another leg up. But again, you want to see a volume break higher on the move higher, okay? Since we're on the topic of Bitcoin, Javier, newly elected president of Argentina, has issued an official statement. Closing the central bank is non-negotiable. And here's Binance's new CEO from the World Economic Forum, which makes you think, right? Finally, BlackRock could be pumping Bitcoin since Coinbase is the custodial partner of BlackRock, and a lot of buying pressure seems to be coming from Coinbase. Touching on the Tesla trade, 237.63 up 1.46% on the day. RSI sitting around the 55 range, and what I don't like is the last time it was here, it had a higher high than where it's sitting at right now, which means Tesla is still sitting in this trend. But the longer the accumulation, right, especially if we have a retracement, the longer the accumulation, the more room will give Tesla to enter that new trading range. So I'm fine with the chop trading days. I am still in my calls on Tesla as of right now, I'm not mad about a retracement. If we do get one, I will add more calls. And if we don't, I will just sit on my hands and watch the trade play out. That is my very quick outlook on Tesla. We can talk more about it in Discord. Finally, the Pentagon is currently moving toward allowing AI weapons to autonomously make decisions to kill humans. In the summer, me and my friend go on these long walks and we talked about this happening. We talked about how this is literally what is going to come and why the military wouldn't do this and all this other stuff. And finally, it's coming to fruition. It's kind of like a Black Mirror episode. But if you guys predicted this, let me know in the comments down below. I assume it wasn't that hard to predict. And oh no, not another COVID. I really hope not. Mysterious respiratory outbreak in China gets attention of World Health Organization. And here are the earnings for the week to come. We will talk more about them in Discord. But if you guys want to screenshot this, here it is. That is what I got for you guys for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.